Warning: the following content contains language that may be inappropriate for younger viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to the Let's Get Heavy podcast, where we explore the realms of heavy music and have conversations with some of the most talented bands in the genre. This episode, I'm joined by Dave McPherson from InMe's, where we look back on the Overgrown Eden anniversary release, upcoming album, and battles with mental health. So let's get heavy. I wish to welcome you to Get Heavy UK. Here we like to highlight bands throughout the rock and metal verse and try and promote and spread positivity as much as possible.
All sounds good to me. Yeah.
I am Stevie. And it's nice to meet you. This is an absolute nostalgic interview for me because I was a fan of the band when I was in my mid-teens when this album that we are about to discuss came out.
Right,
so
yeah.
this is bringing back a lot of memories for me.
Oh, that's cool, man.
So as we've just said, Overgrown Eden holds a lot of nostalgia for a lot of people, like I say, myself included. Released back in 2003. Myself, 17, was still finding various bands throughout rock, new metal, etc. And when I heard the plans for a re-release, I was absolutely buzzing. As soon as I heard the re-release, I went straight to Spotify, played the album. Just so many fond memories from when I was just a little teenager, running around causing nothing but grief for my parents.
Yeah. That's just lovely. That's wholesome stuff. That's the end of a beautiful weekend right there.
Well, nostalgia is a powerful thing, mate.
It is, mate. Yeah. With the older and maybe even wiser I get, yeah, I lean into it. It's nice. It's part of your life, and it's part of memories and good times. And yeah.
So looking on that nostalgia, so for yourself, looking back, what emotions do you associate with the release of Overgrown Eden 20 years ago, and does revisiting it feel different?
God, I mean, it's a lifetime and then a lifetime and then a lifetime ago in a way. I don't remember really. I mean, it all felt like I hadn't even figured out how to it's only taken me a long time, but get a grip on reality itself, like going into adult life as such. So yeah, it felt like a dream. Like it almost felt like this has to be made up, innit? Like this isn't supposed to actually happen to me. So yeah, it felt like a massive, great dream to have. Back then it was a different time. It was a simpler time. You got a record deal with a prestigious label. That was, you were onto a winner. So yeah, it was, the dream straight away. Too much, too young, you might say. But it was unreal. I mean, we kind of worked for it, but we did get lucky as well. You know how these things work. If you work hard at something, you're probably going to get more good luck. So we met this label, Music for Nations, which is also part of this whole nostalgic ride, is there who kind of re-engaged with us, got in touch, and just over the moon to work with them. Judy Ware's, it's just been amazing to
some
see the Music for Nations logo and just go back to all these crazy times. Remember
so many familiar faces from the label when you were there, early days.
Yeah, some sadly no longer with us, people we worked with back then, and so that comes into it. You remember and celebrate people. So yeah, like Laura, who kind of recognised us from Music to the Nation. She was the A&R. She came to see us. She came to see a band we were playing with, we were friends with, and she caught our last song and that was it. She was the A&R for Music for Nations, and then that's what. So then she's no longer with us, sadly. So it's nice. I've been thinking about her a lot lately, just because of revisiting it, and that's one of the things about nostalgia is sort of
And all it takes is
remembering people.
one song as well.
Sorry?
You said she just heard that one song and that's all it took.
Just that one song, It was a song called Lava Twilight, which ended up being on the album. So, all these little stories that come out of this crazy album. And it's just strange for me. I'm 42 years old and I was, 15 when I wrote some of the songs from the Overgrown Eden, that whole era. Well, obviously I was even younger because we started the band when I was like 13. But so those songs have then gone on to be on this album, and forgotten where I was going. I will digress a lot, by the way.
That's quite all right. Do not worry about it. I tend to go off on tangents myself. Sometimes I forget stuff, and I've got. Oh wait, I should have asked this. I've got a backpedal.
It's because I'm comfortable as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll be a bit more sharp.
It's all about just
stay relaxed. So I'm doing
what we want at the end of the day is just be relaxed. It's just two guys having a conversation. That's all I want to have. Relaxed, chilled.
So excitement and like, wow, we're actually going to do this. We're going to go tour at places we never could have dreamed of, and release this album. And then it is. There's also a very scary side to it all as well. But mostly, just very exciting. I was a troubled young thing. So there's that side of it. Some of it wasn't so great to think back on, but just quite exciting to go. Oh my lord, we're actually gonna go and try and make a living out of music, which and it was always a band. It was never a band intended to be a hit band or whatever. I guess there was probably some melodic sensibility involved. But it's just like, well, this is the thing. This is sort of my catharsis for a release. I get rid of energy, bad energy, or express myself or whatever. So it's
you doing that as well helped others on top of that as well. So your catharsis helps others as well because people would have found solace in that album.
Yeah, it's mad. Like I never thought of myself as being someone that could, connect. I don't know. I always felt too strange and weird, but it's you try not to let it go to your ego, but it is nice. Like literally this morning, met up with Gaz. We played this Derby show together last night. To go for brunch, just bumped into someone out of nowhere, and they just came up to me and was like, Dave, I just want to say thank you so much for your music, that album Overgrown Eden, blah, blah, blah. So literally just this morning, and that doesn't happen all the time, by the way. I'm not famous, but and I was just like, mate, that's the most wholesome breakfast I've ever had. Cheers.
It's got to be a good feeling, though.
It was food for the soul, yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be a good feeling to have people come up to you and
it can be
compliments.
It can be an overwhelming feeling. Like it can be. There's sometimes that if I'm around people at my shows, I will have to say, you know what, guys, like enough about me. Too much high praise, you can't get too used to that.
Yeah, I hear.
But you soon miss it. It's nice. So thank you to everyone that says nice things about me and my music. it is nice.
So with the re-release, you're doing a limited editional vinyl run, which is absolutely gorgeous, by the way. Like that green just absolutely pop on that.
I look forward to seeing it.
I'm a bit of a vinyl collector myself, so I've pre-ordered it because obviously it's due out on the 1st of November. Is that correct? Yep. So, so
I think
yeah.
I finally know the date.
Yeah, I think it'll go lovely with my
Yeah.
collection on the wall, because I've got a vinyl room and all my vinyls are on the wall, kind of like my little wallpaper throughout the room. So I think it'll go nice on the wall. And
I like that. I like that about our albums. We've always had sort of maybe like 3 colours in mind. So for that album, Overgrown Eden, it was like our green.
well, with the
Green
girl
years.
holding the apple as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the majority of the album's black and white, but apart from obviously that apple.
Yeah,
So, and when you take the vinyl out, that green, it just pops. You know what I mean?
I mean, I haven't got my copy yet. Or I've reserved us each a copy, but yeah, I better chase one.
So in the digital age, why did you decide to release a limited run vinyl edition of Overgrown Eden? What significance does vinyl hold to you as an artist?
I mean, it's just much more, you look at a CD now, and this will probably change in 10, 15 years or time, and who knows.
Quite possible.
But a vinyl you would not throw a vinyl away, would you? You might throw away an old CD or something. You would not throw a vinyl away. So it's a tangible, usually quite beautiful, palpable, real thing, a collectible. Literally is that. You might never even listen to it, but it looks delicious because I guess it's the design of it. Maybe it's the size. I don't know.
Some people, you're right there, because some people won't listen to it. You're correct. Some people will literally buy it for the artwork itself, and they'll maybe frame it or some sort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It all comes down to
get
the
it out that. If you get it out the even the cellophane, you might get little dents in it, a bit of dust.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't collect vinyl. I only collect vinyl well, maybe I do, like, for a couple artists, but I don't have a vinyl player or anything. I need everything to be stupid for me,
I was kind of lucky because my old man, he handed me down some Iron Maiden vinyls of the early days, which are absolutely fantastic.
Top dadding.
And sadly he passed away, and then my mum's current partner, he handed down a vinyl record player with a cassette player as well. So it's like old school hi-fi system. It has everything in one. So it was like you can take us back and even play some cassettes as well.
Right.
So, yeah, I can't get enough of vinyl. I think I've got a problem. I really think I've got a problem with buying vinyls, to be fair.
Well, there you go. There's another reason we've done the vinyl, because it is, physical. Like when we released this album, people bought the CD. You wouldn't just stream it. And times have completely changed. It's a completely different place now, and that's I don't know about like different levels of bands, but it's all but gone. So, and then to find out quite how many the physical sales of the vinyl did, it's quite amazing. It's like, okay, so physical copies are still a thing, really. And it's just
when it comes to buying physical, it has to be vinyl, because otherwise it's mainly just going through Spotify for myself. That's normally how I consume music. Vinyl or Spotify.
Vinyl or Spotify.
Yeah, that's how that's how I consume music. Maybe
I thought you were asking me that as a question.
Oh right, no, sorry, my apologies.
I'd be like Spotify until Skynet takes over and I'm like, I wish I got my old man's vinyl player. Yeah. I remember. It must have been basically when my old man's vinyl player died, and we were well into cassettes by then.
Yeah.
I've still got so many cassettes though, so there you go. It's a physical thing. I'm never gonna like go through all my cassettes of my old recordings and demos and things and actually put them on something.
I don't know if you remember mini disc players back in the day.
My flatmate at the time, I was like, I don't know, man, what you're writing on these little tiny little things. I don't know if that's gonna and then lo and behold, that didn't last.
Yeah, it did. A couple of years at best.
Yeah, and then iPods,
Mm.
the little iPod shuffles, went through a few of those, but like iPods, yeah, we thought that was really something with a screen and a thing, and now it's just, well, obviously it's your phone.
Pretty much, yeah. Your phone does everything now, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, to
So-
be honest, like phone calls and texts, I probably listen to a lot more music than I do actually use my phone for a phone.
I think
All day long,
I think everyone can attest to that. So
Yeah.
going back
Sorry,
to 2003, can you share some insights into the original creative process behind Overgrown Eden? Were there any particular songs that came together differently than you had envisioned?
Oh, Lord. I wonder if I can just remember. I'll just go through them. So the oldest one on the album would have been written when we were like, it was 1998.
Mhm.
That was Lava Twilight, the same song. That's funny, isn't it? That was the song that Laura heard. So that came about. I think we just used to rehearse twice a week whilst we were doing school and then college. So yeah, we'd rehearse twice a week. I think I'd come with the basic lyrics and a song idea. I've got the melody, I've got the guitar part, and then we'd knock it up pretty quick. And that was sort of how it worked. And then once we got signed, the songs needed refining. We tried working with some songwriters, and we weren't into that idea at all. We were way too purist. Like we're the band. We write our music. And then I think, yeah, once we were, oh God, what were we? We were going through college. Me and Joe, Si was a year behind. He was still at school and then sixth form, I think. And then just, yeah, so during the college, we knew we were going to be doing the album. So I think we just rehearsed as much as possible in Essex, where we were all based at the time, and just worked on them like that. And then, yeah, I've completely changed my songwriting year after year after year. Like the way I approach things, it's completely different now. There's no way I would work like that now. But yeah, I think we just knock them together, and then it's kind of like it was a really dangerous form of demoitis of that's the song, you know, we're not going to develop it more because I like it the way it is. So there's a lot of that. And then making of the album was painful, I'm not going to lie. It was long, we were unprepared, we were inexperienced, everything, all the pitfalls occurred. But yeah, then we went in with, I think it was 16 songs we recorded, and 4 of them didn't make it to the album. And this is I'm not bothered about it now at all, but the label kind of did say those songs are going to be the 4 B-sides and these songs are the 12 album tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think I was right, but but yeah, each song, I don't know, some of them were written before we were going to get signed, and we knew that this was going to be a real serious thing. So there's I guess a bit more of a whatever approach, just a natural whatever approach. And then I think, yeah, around college I got well into nu metal. So I think before it was I don't know, kind of heavier, punkier, definitely not a Nirvana, bands like that. And then when, Linkin Park and just Limp Bizkit a lot, System of a Down, Korn were a massive one because the emotion in the vocals, and just big, simple, heavy as hell riffs, I guess. So you can hear like Underdose is a bit of its time almost, in the sense that, yeah, there was a lot of those sort of nu metal cheeky staccato, I don't know, riffs.
Little influences.
Whatever it is about that song, it's more of a new metal song, and I don't care. I'm not embarrassed about that at all
That's pretty sweet.
whatsoever.
So in those
Linkin
early,
Park Hybrid Theory and Meat after that, Hybrid Theory, that was like my college.
Yeah, that was pretty much my introduction, my gateway into my music taste, essentially. Because I mean, I had heard things like Queen, Meatloaf, etc. through me dad. But you know, when I first heard One Step Closer by Linkin Park, that was it. I was hooked from the beginning, and that, I just got into that rabbit hole. And you touched on all those bands before. System of a Down, Korn.
Incubus were a big thing. I mean, they got kind of new metal, I guess, press wise, because Science maybe had it sounded kind of new metal.
Less than Jake as well. And then, of course, how can we forget InMe for myself? So, yeah, man, honestly, it's absolutely sitting looking back.
But maybe that's why Overgrown Eden was, I don't know, caught, the hype at the time was it wasn't a new metal thing. I didn't really know what it was. It was, there was the grand element there. I don't know. And then it was sort of, the lyrics weren't like, about getting chainsaws and things and stuff like that. So sort of, I don't know. I was banging. I still am banging to. He says it like that, like a true Essex gent. I was.
Can't get rid of those Essex roots, mate.
No, I can't. I'm proud of it now.
Exactly. You've got to.
Now that I don't live there. No. Anyway, no. I do love you, Essex. Don't send the whole of Essex after. I do love Essex.
The Essex boys.
Yeah. We wouldn't be talking about this album if it weren't for Essex. So there you go.
That's a fair point. It's a valid point.
Yeah.
So looking back, did you face any challenges creating that album? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Terribly. I hadn't figured myself out. I mean, like, it's taken me years. Like, I'm always learning more every day about myself. But back then, I wasn't even present in myself. I didn't know what life was. I had my own little closed mindset, and then pressure, I struggled with the vocals throughout that whole album, and I hadn't found my voice yet. I knew what I wanted to sound like, but when it came down to being, in a really expensive situation with top producer and record label people there was a lot of stress and pressure. A lot of just not being ready for all that. Once we'd done the album, that's when it was like, oh, okay. And then
breathing space, chill, relax.
Started, we slowly became a band. That a road tested band or whatever. But we were still, we were teenagers, and
How do you? How can anyone mentally prepare for that sort of lifestyle?
Yeah, just being in a residential studio. I think it was like 5 months. Like, it was a long process. There was a gap in the middle where I think I had like a breakdown. It was challenging, finding my voice. Like, that's why I'll be perfectly honest about it. I don't listen to Overgrown Eden. I love playing the songs live, but I was singing how I sang, and that's how I thought it should be. That's how and there were, people around in the label and management and everything, weren't happy with it, and it was like I was being told to sing with more gravel.
Mhm.
So a lot of the vocal performance, I'm trying to sing. I hadn't found my voice yet. I hadn't found my vibrato. I hadn't found how to express and enunciate every single syllable the way I want, with as much expression and feeling and as possible in everything I do. So that all the little complex details weren't there. It was just, that's how I sing. And then to be told to like kind of go, like, I'm talking now, this is my voice, and then to go a little bit of that, just to put that gravel in, that I guess a lot of big successful singers do. And yeah, so that would be the biggest challenge. And then by the second album, I was like, never again. So yeah, and I think you can hear that between the first album and the second album. There's a difference in the I don't know. I could go into this for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, I hear you.
Basically, I haven't found my voice yet, and I was getting pressured. Rightfully so. They wanted it to be right. You know, there's money invested in this. They want us to be successful. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that was not fun, because like you're sat in a booth, you're really expensive studio, and you can't tell whether you're doing it any good.
Yeah, and all those eyes on you as well.
Yeah, you don't know who you're pleasing. You don't know who you're trying to please. So yeah, these days that is not the case. It's a very different approach. I would never allow it. I'd be like, you're out, you're out, you're out. No offense, you're out. I know best for my music, but I didn't then, and that was obviously apparent. So with that assistance came a lot of pressure.
Mm.
But I'm not pointing any blame at anyone. It's just I was not prepared for all that at the time.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
But you've learned from it, grown from it, and here we are today.
Oh, life got a lot harder down the line. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, did it?
These were the first world problems. But yeah.
So, has your perspective on the album changed over the years?
Yeah. I think it could have, considering we were teenagers, could have been a hell of a lot worse. It's quite a deep, catchy, well-crafted album, I think. Yeah, I like it for what it is as well. It's like, hey, remember when I was a teenager and we bloody released this? And I love that, like playing it live, with playing any of the songs live with a crowd. I enjoy that almost just as much as playing a really new song that I'm really comfortable and excited about. Just because they sing it back so loud, and you're like, oh, okay. Some of it, I'm not even sure what I visually meant by some of these lyrics, but it certainly means something right now when I'm singing it in a room with all these crazy people. So yeah, like I love it. I like, but I wouldn't, I would have gone and probably done some other job, and music would have been a little hobby, and people would, if it were for the album.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Are there any specific themes in the album that resonate with you more deeply now than they did when you first wrote them?
I don't know. Very early on, there's a subconscious self-loathing going on throughout it. I just remember my purity of lyrics, my real childish kind of purity of certain guitar effects I wanted for the clean sounds. That was always, no one else cared about this stuff, but that was the stuff I was like, I'd write out song titles and then write out track listings for albums that never existed, and I was obsessed with it. And it was, like Joe was amazing as a bassist. Like his bass lines are off the chart for someone who was like 15 when he wrote some of them on that album. But it was mostly, my songs, and then they created their amazing parts. So it's just it's a very simple album to me. Like, I like to think for example, the next album we're working on, that is like the album of our lives. But there's still flavours of the Overgrown Eden, and I'm happy about that. We do try and draw back to previous eras of a band. Yeah, not for fear of alienating people, but it is also like we're all in this together. So I do want to make music that people can participate in,
Yeah.
and connect through and connect with me, and yeah. Don't know, I'm waffling again, but yeah,
So
I'm very, very proud of that album.
Anyway.
So yeah, very proud of that album. Yeah, I mean, a little bit, because we've done a lot of, we get asked a lot, and we have done a lot of that whole album in a row. And certain songs, I am a bit like, God, I really wish I wasn't playing this song. I really wish I was playing one of the newer ones or something else. But yeah, like, we're on this tour. We didn't want to, because like last year we did that in London and Manchester, and it was amazing. We played the whole of Overgrown Eden front to back. We did it in Portsmouth as well for Takedown Festival. So this year it was like, no, this was quite heavy, Overgrown Eden, the tour we're doing. It's only a 3-day tour, but we call it a tour. And it's 9 songs from Overgrown Eden era, because we're doing the B-sides again.
Yeah.
So we're doing a couple B-sides and 7 songs from the album, but then we're doing like the ones people want, like Faster the Chase and songs. Sorry, that was very presumptive of me, but yeah, like the bangers, the sing-alongs, the classics, the clap-alongs, and then 3 new songs from our next album, because we want to move it along, we want to move it to 2025 and go, look, cool, nostalgia time. Don't worry, we'll always be playing some of those songs, but check out this new stuff as well, by the way.
Yeah, but that's why we're at the end of, so we can at least have the 2 months of some nostalgia before we get into some new InMe material.
Yeah, but I mean, when does it end?
Well, this is it. Nostalgia never ends, mate, unfortunately.
Next year's the 20th anniversary of White Butterfly, which came out in 2005. So
yeah, so
we'll probably want to do something for that, because that album, So I guess what I'm saying is I don't have a problem with nostalgia.
Yeah,
it gives me an excuse to do what I love, which is play music with my best friends on a stage in front of a load of people, singing along, making us feel like a big deal for a couple of hours. Yeah, I'm pretty cool with that.
Having a good time.
Yeah, all for nostalgia.
Forgetting not just yourself, but everyone in the attendance, forgetting everything on the outside world for that hour and a half as well. So
yeah, that's the plan.
That is, and this is why we need music. This is why we need live music in particular. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, I can't agree more.
Yeah.
So with the release, how have fans responded to the news of the re-release? Have you had any memorable interactions or feedback from long-term listeners?
Yeah, a lot of people. This is only they mean it with love. But yeah, they just all say, wow, thank you for making me feel so old. That's a big one. Because, like, a lot of they'll be like, well, now my kids are into you. So that's totally cool.
I mean, I don't need to feel, I know I'm old. I'm 38, so I feel like I'm like 50. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't bother.
Oh, see, I feel great.
What's the secret?
Yeah. Well, giving up drinking was the best thing I've ever done with my life.
I've done that. I haven't had a drink all this year, for 2024.
That's amazing.
2024. I had my very last drink, stroke of midnight of 2024 to celebrate the new year, and then I put it down. No more. So
yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, well, we'll see how. It basically just a challenge myself. See how long I go. I was like, I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. You know what I mean? So, I'm a big lad after all, but
I bet you feel amazing.
I'm sleeping a lot better.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Sleeping a
Yeah.
lot better. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
man. I'm,
Don't feel as dehydrated.
no. No, mine's 15, 16 months. I'm going to stop counting now because I'm permanently abstinent now. And yeah, just literally, yeah, I
I
became
must.
president.
I do
Became
do a lot
president
of.
in
I
my own
do
life.
like a lot of festivals, and I must admit, Bloodstock Festival that I went to back in August, that was very challenging because
Um,
everyone around you is having a good time, that having drinks, etc. Um, and there is that.
are they having a good time?
There is that. Well,
Will they remember that good time? I'm sounding like this really terrible recovering.
um,
But no, that's funny you should say that because Bloodstock was the first festival last year, 2023, that I went to after I got permanently sober. And yeah, it was okay. It was fine. Um, but like, I think it took me a few months anyway.
yeah,
Kind of,
I did have some urges. I'll not lie. I had some urges, but I fought them and I powered through it. Kept myself
yeah,
busy because I am reporting, reviewing, etc. while I'm there as well. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I've
yeah.
got to have
It's great, mate.
got to have a focus. Do you know what I mean? Because I've just got beer brain and I just forget everything that I've just done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mine was like dark. Mine was like severe alcoholism built in from to talk about that one for a couple of years. I've done enough talking about it, but I yeah, just
Respect for being open about it because it's not easy. Dave.
no worries, man.
It's
I
not.
feel like I should because like I was suffering with it so long. I was a mess and it was shambles, and I want people to know I was going through that, and it was hard, and yeah, I was in a lot of pain. I don't want them to think that's just that there wasn't something going on, that that's just how I was. So yeah, no, and it's I think
It's,
it's an
it,
interesting time for all that. Like when I was, you know, like the alcohol-free drink options, it's as if that just kind of flourished just as I got sober. Um, so it's not a big deal when someone says I'm having an alcohol-free drink. No one back in my time in certain areas where I used to walk and live, yeah, you wouldn't go out because people would make such a silly fuss about it. So there's that. That's been great. And yeah,
don't miss the
I
hangovers.
guess like if anyone knows like what severe alcoholism is like, you're hiding things all the time, and I don't want to hide anything anymore. So yeah,
Respect, man. Respect.
yeah,
It's like I say, it's not easy to open up to people, especially to someone like myself. This is the first time we're meeting. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
thank you for
I,
thank you for sharing.
I don't know how to articulate it yet, and I've not got expertise. I only have an expertise on my journey and how I got come to this. But I do want to like figure out a way to help people. Um, yeah, because I see it a lot now. I'm starting to really see it now that I've been sober so long. I see
Yeah,
you're doing what I used to do. So um, yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, if you're unhappy and you think you can't live without the drink, yeah, definitely figure out a way to stop that drink.
yeah. I
And
mean,
if you
for
can't
me,
live
what
without
like I
it,
say, I didn't really have a problem with it. It was just wanting to do it for the just like I say, trying to lose a bit of weight. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I'm a big lad.
that's great as well, though.
So
And
just try to be a bit healthier. Nothing
it's
wrong
not
with
just
that.
like it's not just yeah, you'll be more physically active
Hmm.
if you damn it if you're poisoning your
Well,
body.
I'm not more physically active because the majority of the time I'm sat behind a computer screen editing.
But yeah, this is this is as much sitting down as I normally do. I'm I think I'm burning calories when I'm just sitting down now. I've got it's a blessing and a curse, a very nervous energy. So, yeah, I think I just burn calories by standing.
Just couldn't say what's the secret.
Little hamster running around.
What's the secret? So,
Figuring out ways to chill out.
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
So we are. See, this is what I was saying before. We do I go off tangents and get off topic.
that's what chatting is, isn't it?
It is, So we're getting back onto Overgrown Eden with the re-release. Will it include any bonus content, maybe songs that haven't been released before?
Well, it's just the B-sides, because these singles came out so long ago before even iTunes existed and whatnot.
Mm.
I don't think these B-sides have ever been on like Spotify or anything. And we've turned it into I just put it into, some of these songs, bear in mind, were the ones that I wanted on the album. So I made it was like a sister album to Overgrown Eden almost, and just put them in an order that made sense. There's 10 tracks. So there's that. That's really exciting. So anyone that likes Overgrown Eden that hasn't heard all that, or wants to hear basically exactly the same sound as Overgrown Eden, because it was from that era and that sound. Yeah. There's that. That's your bonus content. It's all of the B-sides.
And any live tracks to go along with it, or?
No. Because it's Music for Nations, it's been amazing working with them. It's really nice, but really helpful. And it's just like, wow, it's like the good old days. Yeah, they obviously own, Music for Nations just own those recordings. So just from Overgrown Eden, and those B-sides. So yeah, it was, I can't remember how it came about, but like our guitarist, I'm really lucky because I'm in a band with my best friends, but they also were originally InMe fans. So, and they know more. They know the stuff, the details, the homework. So like John, our guitarist, he's got a huge InMe tattoo on his back and everything. He's in the band now, but he was like a mega fan. He's got a more refined discography than I have of my own band, and I was in it long before. And he's over the moon. He's like super happy that this B-side album on vinyl. He's always, since he joined the band, he's like, we should play I'm not going to try and do his accent. He's a Liverpudlian, but doesn't shut up about those B-sides. So he's loving this next tour because we're doing two of his favourites B-sides. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, and who's to say we won't do more? Like, you can check on Spotify now. We can go, well, that B-side's a lot popular than we ever thought it was, so let's play that in the next tour or whatever. But no, we're quite a small level band. Like, we've all got our jobs as well. Like, so it's like a passion project that we're kind of really serious about. I don't know. We sort of do it as much. We do it like it's a career, but we also have to be realistic, and we don't have money thrown at us all the time. So recording, setting up a live gig, we're too busy at the moment to be even thinking about that. We've got to get this bloody album done that we've been working on for 5 years. So yeah, nothing, just those 10 B-sides. So that's good enough, I reckon.
So the legacy of Overgrown Eden, how do you feel Overgrown Eden has shaped your career and the sound of InMe? Any element of the album that you believe has influenced your music going forward?
Yeah, I think the core thing really that InMe probably still is, and I'm still figuring this one out, and I've been in this band for 28 years, is emotion, melody, song structures, feeling. I'm going off on, they're like the core ones. Musicianship, like interesting avenues, not making no limitations really, even though those are sort of the only limitations. Make sure it has loads of feeling, make sure it's really heartfelt, make sure it's all really thought out, and yeah, but sorry, so from Overgrown Eden, an energy, emotion, fun, some fun riffs.
It's gotta be. It's wait, just in general, have fun doing it. Because if it's
Not
not
everything
fun,
to
what's
be
the point of
sad
doing it?
or, some things to be triumphant. So riffs that make you imagine someone on a mountain with a sword, the light coming down from the sun, and unicorns and stuff, whatever. A bit of that. And yeah, just some sonic in, like with the clean effects from Overgrown Eden. I was obsessed with making really, really wacky, because I was obsessed with Pink Floyd, and they were, pioneers of the just messing around with all pedals and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So we did a lot of that on Overgrown Eden. So that's gone on. Sometimes I really just want a clean, dry, really dry effect. Different things for different songs, but yeah, the wacky effects is part of it, me, I suppose. And just a real heavy, metallic, shiny distortion.
Nice, dirty riff.
Yeah, some heavy, hard hitting drums. That's always been the thing. No do dallying.
Yeah, man.
Uh, so
So,
that, moving forward, but melody, song structure, feeling, lyrics.
so obviously you've mentioned previously, not long ago, about a tour. Do we have any dates? Do you know what cities or what areas you're going to be visiting?
Well, our next album's called Demons.
Mhm.
Obviously, with what I've been talking about, there's a lot to discuss with that, but it's obviously the release of the Overgrown Eden sort of stuff. So we thought that we are also a current band. We want to move things forward, and we want people to come along with us. So we just called it the Overgrown Demons Tour. But it was going to be 5 days. People rightfully complain. It's lovely that they care, but I'll tell you what, I must have put about, I don't know, hours of my life into making this thing, these 3 dates actually happen. Because it's tough, right? It's just everyone's schedule,
Logistics as well. Do you know what I mean?
logistics.
It's not cheap to do full
And
tours.
people think that we just can just call up a venue and go, we want to play there. We want to play there that night.
Mm.
Yeah, we want this many people there. We want this much money. It's not like that. The demand for us isn't like we can play anywhere. We can't. Like that's the reality of where our band is. We'd like to elevate that, and by people coming to our shows and whatnot, things get more popular. Hopefully, that's the way it'll go. But
So what are the
it's so
three?
hard.
What are the 3 dates?
They are the 27th of November, which
Mhm.
is a Wednesday. That's London, London O2, Islington, the
Academy, is it?
Academy 2. But that's sold out. So I'm
Oh wow,
advertising that for no reason
that's
at this point. Which is sad. I want as many people to come and see us as possible, but it's also really good for us. Like it just helps us moving forward. Like
upgrade the venue. Give them more tickets.
there wasn't a possibility for that, but then the next night is Liverpool. That's at the O2. One of I get muddled up with the names. Institute Academy. It's another O2 venue. There's that one. That's on the Thursday, the 28th of November. So that'll be a cool one for our guitarist John, because that's his hometown.
Yeah.
And then Birmingham was at the O2 Academy Institute 3, and that sold out. But that one has been a venue upgrade to O2 Academy Institute 2.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that was a really confusing way of saying we're playing London, Liverpool, Birmingham, 27, 28, 29th of November. Be there, InMe's. Apart from you can't because you guys are amazing and sold it out.
That is sick though. So
it's great because
how close is Liverpool to selling out? Because we've got Birmingham and
Liverpool's slower, so pick it up. But yeah, we're confident.
And any plans for the future to grace the lands of Newcastle.
Hell yeah. I mean, Newcastle is a home from home for me because I play there all the time solo. I've got some friends up there. I play with this guy called Nick Wood. He's in a band called Tired of Fighting and Blame Yourself. Blame us. Oh, sorry, Nick. I got the band name. You shouldn't have so many bands. I remember all the names. So I always play up there with him. There's a guy called Craig up there I play with. And well, forgot my name. But yeah, if Newcastle, I love going up there. So hopefully nothing's booked, nothing's planned, but hopefully we'll follow this up with a single from the next album, or maybe even like an album tour. But we will do a tour, and we will try and say, look, we'd love to do at least a 2-weeker. Granted, it's not the old days. We can't go and play 40 dates around the UK anymore. But yeah, Newcastle for sure. Like all the key cities. I know that's a terrible thing to say, key cities, but it's, your Liverpools, your
I hear you.
Glasgow, your London.
I do feel Newcastle gets a little left out from time to time.
Yeah, I guess it's tough because, like, for this, it's a free date thing. And we're also at the mercy, like, our agent books this for us. I have no idea how to book a gig at that level and work with ticket. That's not me. I don't want to do that. I want to play music, write it. But, yeah, so our agent, we're at the mercy of our agent booking it. He does a great job, but then also, venues have got other things booked, and so
yeah,
it's amazing. It happens. So yeah, next year I'd love to. We're releasing this album. We're going for it. I mean, some of the guys are a lot further down their career than, like, I love my job, but music in an instant. If this was my full time career, I'd go for it big time. I try and break the States. I want to go to Australia with music and stuff like that. I'd definitely go for it. And we would make that work somehow within me.
Any places that you would love to, any particular cities that you would love to play with InMe's? Outside of the UK, of course.
What, that I have played or haven't?
Haven't.
Okay. Because, like, I have, but, like, Tokyo, again, now that I'm a sober man that's grown up a bit and doesn't, I'd love to take it all in, and the culture shock. I'd love to try that again. But Australia has just always been a big one for me because I don't know why I've never been there, like, just on holiday or whatever. But it's as if it's this far out thing that I can't achieve, but I'm pretty sure I can. So Australia would be a great one. I'm worried I might go, oh my God, why didn't I live here? No disrespect to our rain-soaked little windy rock that we live on, but Australia would be amazing. So I don't know, Sydney, just to see the usual sights that I've never seen.
I love Australian people. I think they are absolutely brilliant, but I couldn't stay in that country for too long because I don't do heat well.
I might struggle with that as well.
So, I
do like how little rain soaked rock for that reason.
I do love Australian people, but I'm sorry, the country is just too hot for myself.
Right, okay. Is it all hot? Like, this is how we
well, I can't say. I've never been. So, but
that would be great. I've never been to Africa, and we've never toured the States. Like, and I know that is like, that'll take years to build up, and I'd be willing to do that. I'm a simple man at heart, apart from all the complexities. And I like scenery. It's good for me. It pleases me. It pleases my brain. And then it inspires me. And
traveling and seeing the world as well.
Traveling, being in motion, seeing, breathing the good air. The scenery of the States is just so massive that I'd love to do that, to play like, I mean, obviously we're talking pipe dreams for some of these things, but, Madison Square Gardens. Or I always kind of wanted to be on, like the Conan O'Brien show or something like that, and visit the set and do that. That would be pretty savage.
That would be pretty
There's
sick.
probably loads of cool things I'm not thinking about.
You'll think it'll pop in your brain after this interview. After we've finished chatting, I wish why didn't I say that?
Yeah, but like I say, like things I have done, like I'd love to play. Like we played Download main stage, Download Festival 2003, and we played the Reading and Leeds Festival main stage that year. As much as like it's amazing that I did that, I can't really remember it properly. Like I hadn't really figured out.
Download 2000.
It was terrifying in a completely different way. Like now I'd be like, right, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to soak up every single little moment and I'm going to command everyone. I want everyone. I want to win everyone. I want this to be the best show of my life. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So those ones it'd be great to play some. I'm not fussed about money. I want enough to live. And it's nice to have treats every now and then. I think I'd be too stressed if I was minted rich. And I like simpler, less stress. Anyway, he says, like, if I became really rich, then just come. Look at him lording it out. But yeah, the main thing I want success for is I want to play big stages. I want to play big crowds. Because the bigger the crowd, the bigger that
adrenaline rushes.
Crazy feeling you get. Yeah. But I want that.
Which I'm sure you'll get.
I love playing for one person, but I do want to play the big stages.
I think that's everyone's pipe dream, isn't it?
When you've got side fills as well as monitors, side fills are like your whole band, what you want, blasting at you from the side. This is obviously everyone uses in-ear monitors these days anyway, but yeah, you knew you were playing a big gig when you got side fills.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good time. When you can't get up the drum riser, you've done all right. Yeah.
So you've mentioned future projects. We've got Demons, which is due out next year, 2025. When can we expect the first release or the first single to drop?
These are questions I ask myself every day.
Well,
I don't know. We don't know. We literally we spent so long on this album for one reason or another. Like it is 5 years in the making, and that's why it's like so important to us as well. A lot of that was I wasn't in a good place. I was like at death's door. I needed serious help on myself. So, but that's all in part of it. So the album is a real like people have been through breakups during that. So there's a lot of that. People have died in our families and friends. So a lot has happened in those 5 years, and it's all it's led to this whole 12 songs is like going to be so special for us to finally lay to rest and get out there so they can be heard and final and complete, because we have been demoing it to death for 5 years. That's way too long. It won't be the case with the next album, by the way. Already working on that. But yeah, so we've done half the drums. We're doing it all quite from home, and then we're going to work with people and mixing it. But it's because we've written it all to death. We know what we're doing. So we're just tracking the guitars at the moment. I'm tracking guitars again, as well as John and Gaz. I don't play guitar live in the band anymore, but
I was just about to ask, are you playing guitar live again?
I might do. Never say never, but I prefer just being the singer. But I write a lot of the riffs for the band, so sometimes when you've written a riff, you kind of want to play it on the album, and then the guys, they're amazing. They can play, and they come up with their own parts. But yeah, so I'm playing a lot of rhythm guitar, maybe a little bit of lead here and there on the album. It just sounds amazing though. Like Gaz's production skills are next level now. Like because he spent most of he always had a good ear, but he spent most of the pandemic really studying production and getting his gear up to scratch. So we've been doing that, and it's just fun. We're just loving making it. So exciting listening to mixes all the time. It's still a horribly frustrating, painful experience how patient you have to be, because it's still like it's not going to be till like spring, I reckon, that a single will be ready. Maybe earlier. We keep saying we're going to try and finish tracking it by the end of the year. And I know realistically that's just pipe dream as well. So,
Yeah.
but we are just getting it done.
It's from what you've just stated though as well, and not just for yourself. It sounds like for the entire band, it's going to be very like heavy personal album for each year's. It's so I'm looking forward.
Well, I mean, for John and Mike, it's their first album.
Right.
John joined just after. He wasn't part of the recording process for Jumpstart Hope, previous album. So for them, it's very special in that respect. And they've been in the band a few years now, but this is their first, output where they're not just going, yeah, listen to my band. I didn't play on that stuff. And I didn't write or anything. So yeah, it's exciting in that respect. But yeah, just like we've been through a lot. Like Gaz is quite careful with his emotions. But even he was like, wow, man, this album means a hell of a lot to me because a lot of stuff happening in his life. Moving around. It's been a mad time.
I can imagine.
We're in the health, like, largely because of me. I'm in a really good place. I'm like genuinely quite happy, which I didn't think was possible. So that has changed, like the whole mood of the band. Like I'm annoyingly driven. So it just feels very good. We're all bouncing off each other. Like we never have arguments. We never, everyone's just very respectful and understanding.
You are what you said earlier on. You are all really good best friends. Do you know what I mean? So
absolutely, yeah, man. Like, it's more than that. If anyone's been in a real band where you live it and breathe it, and
brothers.
Yeah, and or it's just something else. It's like a family, but without all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's a lot of bullshit.
So
it's like a family. It's great, but there's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, I hear you. So with Demons, are you experimenting with anything new? Something that you may haven't tried before in previous work?
With this album?
Yeah, with Demons.
I'd like to say it's not for me to say, really. But yeah, we're always pushing, like, they're all highly skilled, inspiring, creative musicians. I come in quite with the majority of sort of the driving force of a song usually, and I'm the lyricist and I write most of the melodies. But yeah, constantly pushing, like, just melodically. That's the main thing. We're not about we're not a show. We're trying to be showy off feet for a while, and it's like, oh, look at me playing this crazy technical riff whilst I'm singing completely different timing, and I can't be bothered with that. It's not actually any fun for me.
Yeah. It's
just a chore. Like, it's impressive, but it's not enjoyable, and therefore that probably all you can see is a man concentrating. So I think with this album, just the songwriting is just so on point. I will listen to this album for many years to come, and so I'm trying to make my favourite album, and hopefully in turn people will hear that. So yeah, I think everything. If anyone likes InMe, there's heavy stuff in there, like heavier than heavy, just heavy as hell. But it's so melodic. It's like the song structures are so refined. All the fat is chewed, but it's fun. It's progressive. It's interesting. You'll hear. I mean, I have really praised an album that no one's heard.
I'm excited.
Like I say, maybe it isn't for me to say because I'll just praise it.
Well, to hear your excitement for it to be released, it makes me even more excited. So I'm looking forward to hearing when it drops.
Yeah, and then it'll be nice because it'll be like, right, okay, let's enjoy that album. Let's tour it. Let's have fun with it. Let's
come to Newcastle.
But yeah, let's go to Newcastle, show how good this bloody album is. And then I'll probably even during the recording of this, I'll be like, right, and what's next? What's the next one? and then it'll be how can I completely top the last thing. That's my focus from now on. Like since I got sober as well, it's just perfection. Wash your life. Be nice to be remembered. So just trying to create masterpieces. No,
You're doing a fine job.
no big deal.
Doing a fine job, Dave. Doing a fine
Thanks,
job.
man. Thanks. Well, you'll
So-
see. I think there'll be something for everyone. Every album that they'd like to win me, there'll be something of that. But just a whole,
So,
really, sorry,
as we are getting relatively close to the end, is there any advice that you might have for any new artist wanting to get into the business or just starting a band in general?
I mean, I'm not an expert now, and I never was. But like, I'm not an expert now because I don't know the playing field. I hear things like, record labels, people throw stuff around. For starters, watch what you're reading on the internet, on these Instagram things and TikTok things about, like, for me personally, when people are trying to talk about the algorithm and stuff like that, stay the hell away from that. Don't be near anyone talking about making music that fits an algorithm ever. Stay the hell away from that. Make sure it's because it also like it depends what you want music for. If you want to be successful and make loads of money, I really have no help for you. I'm the last person you should ask. I wouldn't know. But if you want to make good music and you want to connect with people, I think if you want a good audience, they're clued up and they can, then give them something clued up and real.
Yeah, 100% with the real, definitely, because I feel now there's a lot of AI generated music out there now. And people's not silly. They're seeing it. Do you know what I mean? That they can tell. So
yeah, I mean, I like the fun aspects of that. I wanted to say, I was like, well, if I could like get all of the InMe albums, but with it sounding like Freddie Mercury singing the whole thing, I want to hear that. I probably prefer to hear that I'll be like,
well, there you go.
This is my songs with Freddie Mercury.
You can give it a try then. You can give it
I'll
a
be
try.
up for that. But like, no.
It's people. So I live stream on Twitch as well, just promoting bands, just playing YouTube videos, etc. And people.
I'm going to tune in.
People turn. Well, it's Get Heavy UK TV on Twitch. That's where we stream.
I dived into this deliberately and too busy at the moment.
So that's
without knowing much.
Yeah, that's us on Twitch. Get Heavy UK TV, all one word.
But I am still a bit of, like I say, clever in some ways with technology. I ain't got a clue about Twitch or any of this stuff. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's
primarily.
I might not love Twitch and I want Twitch in my life, but I don't.
Primarily a gaming platform, but DJs, etc. People just.
Gaming platform, but like I say, I'm moving, and I'm moving in with my friend who's also called Dave, and he's a big gamer. So I'm gonna I'll be on Twitch soon.
Maybe there you go then. There you go. But it's I stream on Twitch. So basically I promote a lot of underground rising bands on that platform. Just playing their YouTube videos, etc. And people will try and come into the stream and pass off AI generated music as their own. And then they get.
But are these people even real?
That's the thing. I don't know. Are they? They could be bots. They could be robots. Do you know what I mean?
A real person show some. Well, you're not a self-respecting musician.
So
our thing is like we've used. I mean, I do struggle with the modern. I don't know. Some bands, I'm like, okay, well, if I actually strip down get rid of all the bells and whistles of all that really fancy sci-fi sounding production, I'm not sure that's a very good riff. It's just noughts and noughts and noughts. And so too much technology, basically. That's what I guess I'm getting at there. Be good. Like, be good in yourself. Believe in your band. Believe in your, like, feel it. I think that's AI. I'm yet to be proven wrong. I don't. AI is just a word for, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very, very grey area, I feel,
Yeah.
when it comes to it, especially when it comes into the music scene.
And, you know, I mean, yeah, where I am at this stage in my life, yeah, I wouldn't be relying on anything like that.
Yeah, like you said earlier on, Skynet.
Well, let's just come from advice. So yeah, I guess be nice to people. But I guess do you really want to be in a band? Like, have you thought that through as well? And yeah, what do you want from your life? What do you want? Do you want to be in a band for
Really
a
really
while in your life?
look inside yourself before you take on this challenge. Really.
And when you're young, make sure you've got some backup plans. That's a big one because I didn't. I didn't go to uni first or anything like that and get a degree. I could still get a degree now, but I'm doing fine, just thanks. I like my job at the NHS and I like doing my music. That's cool for me. But yeah, backup plan. But yeah, when you're young, you got all that energy, try and tour the world. If you're a bit of a cozy person, you're going to want to try and get successful quick because you ain't going to be wanting to be roughing it on tour.
Yeah.
You're going to be cold a lot in the venues, in the dressing rooms, in your vehicle.
Yeah, I've heard some stories from a friend's band.
And yeah, really connect with the audience. Merch will keep you going. Merch is a big deal. I don't know, man. Like,
there could be endless, really, in there.
but I hear things like people say like labels won't even look at a band now, won't even consider signing a band unless they've had like a certain amount of streams or whatever.
Oh, right, I'm not aware of that one.
Exactly, and I don't
I'm
know
not aware of that
either.
one,
It's like
but
things I've heard from people.
a lot of bands, especially underground bands, they're just DIY bands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's just hearsay.
They are that mix that writing, that recording, that mixing, the mastering. They're even doing their own videos now, and
Yeah,
they look absolutely phenomenal.
yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
this is great. But yeah, I don't know. Like I say, if I was starting now and I was like, right, I've got a new band, I wanna get, I wouldn't know where to begin because I'd be like, well, I want to get a record deal. Whereas a lot of these bands, seemingly, with the way you can make stuff from home
I
now.
see a lot of benefits in both being an fully independent band, as well as being under a label as well. I see a lot of benefits to both.
I guess I just feel, because I've tried doing things on my own and I'm a disaster, I'm a shambles. So I guess I feel like I can just put my hand up and say I am not qualified. I want someone who knows.
I appreciate the honesty.
Carrying on with a bit more with the moving parts of the industry, and it's done same for my guys. It's like I'd ideally want a manager right now, and that's what I'm on the hunt for. A really good manager though, that's like for us, not just a manager taking his
I
cut.
hear you. Yeah.
Someone that's the best friend that we want them to do well and both vice versa. And someone's really hungry for it and believes in the band no matter what, So I'm looking for that, but also someone who's got clout, someone who is as a name in the industry, and can
that's the benefits because obviously they can push their music out to a wider audience.
Help us get things we wouldn't be able to get otherwise, but we're quite good at getting things ourselves these days as well. But
shows as well.
Back in the day, we had our manager, and then we had our production, well, tour manager at the time, production manager, whatever his title was. He was friends with Nickelback's manager or tour manager. That's how InMe got the tour with Nickelback. Simple as that. So clout, just, oh, don't worry, I'll have a chat to so and so. Oh, by the way, like for me, my manager at the time, Andy Farrow, great guy, still great friends. Oh yeah, spoke to Craig, Charlie Simpson's manager. Yeah, you're on the Charlie Simpson tour. You're supporting him. The things like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm not very good at. But I don't want to go around begging bands to take us on tour.
Yeah. It's not a good image, is it?
No, I mean I get it, and I get it a lot, and it's yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So, is there any final thoughts that you wish to share with fans or listeners about either the re-release or the journey in general of InMe?
Yeah, well, firstly, I apologise because I didn't know whether this Zoom meeting was going to be filmed, so I wouldn't have worn this bloody orange top, and I would have put my laundry away back there. So apologies for that. I just thank you to everyone who, well, A, for listening to us for the last hour or so, but for the support, for hanging in there when I went through a lot of rough years, dark times, a lot of things I'm ashamed of and embarrassed about. So yeah, new beginning, fresh start for InMe, new chapter. Thanks for sticking with us. We're in a really good place. Can't wait to see what's next. And yeah, come to the inevitable Newcastle show and all that. Hope to play many more shows, bigger shows. Yeah,
Sweet.
Keep coming, keep buying tickets, keep buying those vinyls and whatnot. It's good for us. It means we can,
Yeah, of course, man.
We'll keep going no matter what. Like, this band is pretty much indestructible until we die. But yeah, thanks for keeping us going. Like, we'd still make music together, but it wouldn't really be a band without the audience as well, So yeah,
man.
They're kind of in the band as well. We can't pay them, and we can't fit them in any hotels.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, Dave, I want to thank you once again for giving up your free evening to chatting with myself.
Thanks,
It's been an absolute pleasure. Like I say, so many nostalgia memories just running through my head when I was just like a teenager. So I like to end all our interviews with the Get Heavy UK creed, or the motto, if you will. The rules of the pit are the rules for life. When someone falls, we pick them up.
It's good. And it ties into a nice little Michael Caine Batman quote. Sort of ties in nicely with that as well. So yeah, always try and tie it in with comic book stuff.